It's absolutely, but it is a double-edged sword. It could also be pretty bad, especially in the hands of either a hostile country or AI itself. It could decide, we don't need humans.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true. So to circle back to, what happened over the weekend, right? How does an operation like that even begin in such a hostile country? And I'm not asking you, obviously you know this, right? I don't want any trade craft or anything like that, but just you using your knowledge saying, how would you even begin to approach that? Because I'm thinking about it from an outsider where that's a completely hostile country. I don't fit in. They would like rule me out right away, right? How do you even get the knowledge to say, okay, these three sites are where this nuclear material might be, maybe at different phases? It
So
seems like an impossible task.
Israel's intelligence service, Mossad, and I've worked with Mossad before on certain joint operations and shared things with them, and they've shared with us. They have an incredible focus, as well they should have, on Iran. It's an existential focus, meaning this could absolutely threaten the state of Israel's existence. So they have an extensive network of covert assets inside Iran. It's obvious the way they were able to pinpoint what all of these nuclear sites have, the way they were able to pinpoint the military leadership, the leadership of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, where these people live. They were able to pinpoint the homes of some of the top Iranian nuclear scientists and for killing, for assassination. And actually, of all the things that have happened in the last week or two, bombing and everything, sure, that's something. Frankly, my own opinion is taking out some of those top nuclear scientists has got to be one of the most effective choke points on the Iranian program. This is, in fact, nuclear science. It is not easy. People like you or me, Joe, we couldn't go. I mean, we could have all the equipment there. And do you think we could do it? No, I don't think so. You need skilled technicians and skilled scientists. Somebody had said, well, if you don't have eggs, the material, you don't have the omelet. And I said, the most important thing is not having the chef that knows how to do it. And so
Yeah.
they, but with the Israelis taking out these nuclear scientists puts a big choke point on the program, chokehold on the program. I mean, how many PhD nuclear scientists would want to go into that program knowing that you're a target and can be reached inside your home in Iran? So this is going to discourage people from either joining the program, or it might encourage people who give us knowledge because, as I've said in some of your earlier programs, Joe, you don't recruit happy people. You recruit people under stress, and their stress has to be sky high at the moment. So they're thinking, I think I'd rather talk to Mossad or CIA than risk my life doing this. But they have an extensive ground network there. Now, there probably were some Mossad operatives on the ground as well, but it's more likely that they had networks of assets, their agents on the ground, Iranians working in place, probably working at Fordow, working at Natanz, and working at Isfahan that could say, here's the precise location you need to hit. And this is what's going on in there. And it's the same way that they could then measure the damage afterwards. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy at the moment. The DIA report came out a day or two ago about they think it was minimal damage. I think, and I just read a statement by a very, very renowned expert, David Albright. He's one of the foremost American experts on nonproliferation. And he said, in his opinion, they have destroyed the centrifuge enrichment program because these instruments are so delicate. They're so, the way you balance them, the way you do everything else to them. And then one of the key factors was they totally obliterated the uranium conversion facility. Now, what that is that's where you take the yellowcake uranium, you convert it into uranium tetrafluoride, UF4, and then uranium hexafluoride, UF6, which is a gas. And it's that gas feedstock that you feed into the centrifuges. Well, if you don't have the feedstock, you don't have any enrichment. You don't have any material to enrich. So, the one concern I do have is there's about 900 pounds of 60% highly enriched uranium that they had produced. I don't know where that is. That's probably enough for about 10 to 12 weapons. It's not really at weapons grade, but at 60, it doesn't take much to get up to the mid 80s or whatever to what we would consider weapons grade. In fact, most of the work, I think 98 to 99% of the separative work separating the uranium 235 isotope from the heavier non-fissile isotopes of U-238, most of that work has already been done. So going from 60 to say mid 80s to high 80s to 90%, it wouldn't take much in the way of plumbing and re-sending that gas through the centrifuge cascades.